Okay, so is Google or Facebook listening to my phone?
Well, possibly, yes.
We're talking about companies that live off advertisement and have access to devices which have microphones on them. So, I would say that there is probable cause to ask that question.
In a sense, they are listening to you all the time.
A lot of us have had an experience where we're just talking to our friends about something and then we see ads on Facebook about that specific thing or service or destination or whatever. And it raises the question, are these devices, are these services listening in on my conversations?
Well, it doesn't have to be Google or Facebook, but any application. If you give permission to use your microphone or permission to use your camera, there is the technical means to listen to your conversations.
Recently I was talking about a electricity contract for my apartment. I actually got advertisements for that specific company, for that specific electricity contract that I was talking about with my friend.
Let's say you're using OK Google and you're using the voice search function. The way you do voice searches is so different from the way that you use the typical Google search engine. So I bet there's some kind of indexing behind that and some kind of data analytics on how people use, for example, OK Google. But I think what people are concerned and the reason why people are asking this is that they want to know if their phones are constantly listening to their conversations and if those conversations can be acquired at later time by some unauthorized parties. It's hard to say. For example, if you use OK Google and you just say OK Google, your phone will instantly reply to you. So in a sense, they are listening to you all the time.
I think I spend most of my time perhaps writing a message or doing a Google search than actually talking to any friends, because it's just easier to interact through your phone. So the question is not about whether Google or Facebook is listening. It's about what are they gathering from me.
But on the other hand, if it ever came out that Facebook is listening on people's conversations, it would be a major public relations disaster for them. Maybe this one would be enough to get people to actually stop using Facebook. So I don't think that's the case. What I think is happening is that online advertising and tracking people's desires and wants is actually more sophisticated than a lot of people realize. When you're Googling for information, you might forget that you were interested in that sort of search, and then when it pops up a couple of days or weeks later, you're wondering how this happened at such an auspicious time, when actually it was your own behavior online that created the advertisement in the first place.
I think we should actually inform ourselves better about this and perhaps decide which type of data do you want to give to these companies. And if I don't agree with their morals or what they're actually preaching, I can go for other services, which I will have to pay, but at the end of the day, they will be safer, and I know exactly what I'm giving.